Hello, welcome to episode 3 of my Dayz modding tutorial. In this one, I'm going to show you how to retexture a vanilla item and pack it. I will try to keep this one as short as possible, as I'm only going to show you how to retexture and pack it in this episode. I'll show you how to test it, sign it, and upload it in the next video. But anyways, I'm Dr. Borg. Let's get started. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to keep it super simple and just retexture the bomber jacket we discussed in the previous video. Now, I'm not going to give you all the resources to work from. I want you to follow along and build this yourself so you get more hands-on experience. First thing we're going to do is come to our P drive. Now, I've got two windows open, and this is going to make it a little bit easier for us to copy some files. So if you went and downloaded the mod template folder that I made in the last video, we're just going to copy some stuff over there into a new project folder, and then we're going to build off of that. As you can see on the left, I've got the mod template folder open, and then on the right, I went ahead and created a project folder called HCL_bomber jacket. Now, HCL is how I tag my mods, but that's irrelevant. You can tag them however you want. What we're going to do is go ahead and just copy everything from our mod template folder and paste it into our new project folder that we're going to be working out of for this episode. We can go ahead and close this other Explorer window. So what we're going to do, just to kind of understand things a little bit more, we're going to go ahead and just delete the PAA file that's in this folder. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you how to go find the bomber jacket PAA file, the vanilla texture, and then we can import it into GIMP and start editing it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just open up a new window, and we're going to go to our P drive. I'm going to go to our DZ folder, go to characters, we're going to go to tops, and then we're going to come to data. And then we're going to scroll down through here until we find bomber jacket. Here we go. So we're looking for the bomber jacket. One of the underscore co.paas is going to be the best to work off of. So this one's the black one, for instance. So we just copy this and then come back to our project folder, go to data, and paste. Now, what we're going to do is come over here and open up GIMP. Then we're going to come to File, Open. Then we're going to go to our P drive. We're going to find the project folder we're working out of. Go to Data. Find the PA file that we want to modify. And hit Open. Now, this is not going to be a tutorial on how to use GIMP. And if you use Photoshop, more power to you. I don't know if you can open up PAA files like that in Photoshop. There's probably a plugin, but I don't use Photoshop, so I have no idea. But I'm going to keep my modifications on this texture pretty simple. You can make them as crazy or detailed as you want, or you can just do the same thing I do. So what all I'm going to do is just come over here and grab a paintbrush for now. Grab one of these, change the color. We'll use this orange color. And then what we're going to do is just make some marks on here just so we can kind of tell, that we've modified it a little bit. Okay, now that the modifications are done, we'll come to File, Export As, and then we're going to export to our project folder we're working out of in the data folder. We're going to just rename this something. I'm just going to do template for now. You can name it whatever you'd like. Oh. Try that again. Template. And export. Okay, now we're in our folder and we can see that we have the correct PAA retexture in here. So now we can go to our config file and open that up. And we can also go ahead and go into our scripts, 4_world, and we can open up our C file, our script file. What we're going to do, this is from our template, but I am going to go ahead and change the name on it. We can rename this to bomber jacket _ template. And then we have to remember to extend it. Now, if you're just copying and pasting, you won't have to worry about it because it should already be there. But remember, we extend with space, :space, and then we put in the class of the item we're extending, which is bomber jacket _ black. And then we can make sure that's saved, and we won't need that anymore. Now here, for our classes, since all I'm going to be doing in this one is just retexturing the bomber jacket, what I'm going to do is just change all occurrences of this and make it the same as the class. So it's just going to be bomber jacket underscore template. And that's going to go ahead and change all of these. Now the DZ characters, we're going to leave that because that's the one we decided in the last video that was at the top of the list. So that should work for us. If it doesn't, we'll come back and we'll make changes to it as necessary. Now we're going to scroll down. Since we know we only need the _world module, we can actually go ahead and just delete the rest of these. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and delete this. Remember to make sure there's not a comma after the last item. There we go. And we can go ahead and delete these ones that we don't need. We'll just leave the class world script module. There we go. And our CFG vehicles. So again, from my last video, we talked about extending our classes, bringing them into our config file to work off of. So we've already got the item we're extending off of here and here. So all we're going to do is just change the name of our class to what we made in our script file, which is just bomber jacket underscore template. Now remember, when we extend this one, we do not put a space before the colon, but we do put a space after. And we can leave the scope as 2, and then we need to change the hidden selections textures. I'm sorry, brief interjection here, as I noticed while editing the video that I did not mention how to actually get the hidden selection textures in this part of the video. So let me go ahead and show you that real quick. This is going to be kind of scuffed, but it'll buff. So what we're going to do is just come to our P drive. We're going to go to DZ, characters, tops, and then we're going to scroll down and find our config. I'm going to open that up. And since we know we're modifying off of the bomber jacket underscore black, we can just go bomber jacket underscore black. And then essentially what you'd want to do is just copy all the stuff in between these purple brackets. And then if you noticed in the previous video, we said that we could just go ahead and delete the visibility modifier. It wasn't really needed. We'll just keep the scope and the hidden selection textures. Just copy this into the CFG vehicles on our config file, and then we can change these. But anyway, I'll let the original video continue. So we can come to our folder, go back to our data, find the bomber jacket template, and we're going to copy as path and paste it in here. Now we can take off the P on the end because we don't need that. And then we can copy this here and paste it into the rest of these values. There we go. Now, really, that's all we need to do for this one. So we can go ahead and just Control S, make sure this is saved. And that should be all we need to do now. What we're going to do now is just close out of this. Close out of that. Now, if you went and downloaded the Makiro's tools, like we discussed in the last video, you should have an option that's called PBO project. We can go ahead and launch that. Now, I'm going to put some screenshots of the setup page and everything that I have in here, as well as the exclusions. I don't remember what they come by as default, but essentially when I set this up, I had somebody in the Infusion Modders Discord just copy and paste what they had, and I put it in here, so that's what I've been using. Anyways, to pack our mod, we're going to go to our mod output folder, go to our P drive, and we're going to create a new folder, and it's going to be at bomber jacket underscore template, or whatever you want your mod name to be. Save it. And then we're going to go into that folder, do new folder, call that add-ons, and new folder, and call it keys. Now, one thing I do want to mention, since we're packing with Makiro's PBO project, we don't actually need the add-ons folder created, because the PBO project will create that folder for us. However, if you're packing using the Dayz vanilla tools project packer program, you will need to create this folder yourself, and then the output folder in that will be the add-ons folder inside of our folder we just created here, the bomberjacket_template. But since I just remembered that, we'll go ahead and delete this since we don't need it for the PBO project. And then to select, we're just going to select that one we just created, which is the bomber jacket template. Select. And the source folder is going to be the project folder we were working out of. So we can go to D drive, bomber jacket folder. Oh, sorry, there we go. We can just select that, hit select folder. And then we can change this or just leave it the same. I typically just leave it the same. This is what your PBO inside of your add-ons folder is going to be called once it's made. And from here, all you're going to do is just hit crunch, and you should have the output right here. It'll say completed if there's nothing wrong with it. If there was something that it detected that was wrong, it'll usually fail. But now we can close this out and go back into our project folder. And we can come to our bomber jacket template, add-ons, and as you can see here, we have our PBO. All right, so for now, that's going to be all I'm going to show you in this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to sign it as well as test it, which will include setting up a Dayz server locally on your computer that you can test your mods on. And I'll include the information for that as well. But that's going to be all for this one. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, please let me know down in the comments. And if you see anything I did wrong here again, please just let me know, because you know, we're all still learning here. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. So I'll see you guys in the next video.